Again, a little bit of maybe team news, and if you could just explain the Timber Saliba situation and what their problem is and whether you might have them back available for the pre-season and beyond.
Jury, and he had a surgery on Tuesday morning, and on his ankle. He's been feeling that discomfort for many weeks. He's been navigating through the season with that issue, and it needed to be resolved, so he's going to be out for a while. And Saliba, he felt something in his hamstring in the first half, just before halftime, and again, he's going to be out for a few weeks.
In terms of Urian, will he miss? I mean, what's the sort of time frame on that? Will he have a pre-season when he's not ready for the start of the season?
We don't know yet. It will depend how the recovery goes. It will be weeks. But we don't know exactly how much. Hopefully it will be somewhere near the pre-season if everything goes well, but we don't know yet.
And Saliba, just a few weeks rest?
A few weeks, yeah.
And Kai came back?
Yeah.
Come through okay?
Very good. Yeah, you could tell how excited he was. He's been working so hard. I think he's done great with the medical stuff to get back in the shape and in the form that he's at the moment. He was desperate to contribute, and really happy to see him back.
And Sunday probably marks the end for a number of the players at this club. Is there any sort of there's an understanding some are going to go, but Partey there still remains a little bit of a question mark over. Is there any movement on that yet? I mean, in terms of the level he's played at this year, how important is it to maybe keep him?
Well, there's some question marks on a few of them, so we'll have to wait and see. We still have another Premier League match to play on Sunday, and after that we have some time to sit down and finalize a few things that have to be done. In regards to Thomas, I think consistency-wise, he's been his best season. I think the way he's played, performed, his availability has been exceptional, and he's a really important player for us.
In terms of another important player for you, Raya could get his golden gloves, couldn't he, on the weekend? That's sales, and again, head-to-head. So much kind of noise when you signed him. Do you sit back in your armchair and give peace and quiet at night and think, gosh, that was one of the best decisions I made bringing him in, and the improvement you've seen on him?
Well, we made decisions with that intention, but obviously at the time it was a very unpopular one. It was so much pressure on it not to get it done. But I think we have to feel our gut, and we have to be as well very analytical of what we think is necessary to improve the team, to take the team to a different level. And certainly everybody, I think, at the club, around the team, our supporters are very happy with the way David has been consistently performing at the highest level for us in the last few seasons.
Second 3 years in a row, when you are lying on a sunbed somewhere next week, hopefully with your phone off and spending some quality time being present with your children, when you get back, how much clarity do you have in your mind about what you need to do next season? What's that kind of list look like?
So I can imagine the moment that you just described. So probably what I would do when I'm there, I pick up the phone, I call you, and I tell you exactly how I feel, because now exactly is not the best moment to do it, and I don't feel in a way to do it. I have quite a clear picture, but I need a few more things to then have a real clarity and analysis and describe the season with the right words, because I know that that's going to be very important.
But the picture you have in your mind of what next season looks like, assuming with the trophy in your hands, that alignment, the players, where you go with this squad is very clear in your mind. What's the most important thing about getting that right next season?
Alignment. That
the people that
everybody at the end, we all feel the same way, that we feel that we are capable. It's not just a dream, or it's not just something you want to do. Do we have everything that is needed to do that? And even if you do, there is a lot of things that are going to play a part to win. A lot of things. Performance is going to be the squad quality, availability is going to be referees, the schedule, who do you play, when, in what kind of form they are, how many days do you have to recover, and then the randomness of football. that one I cannot control. I cannot control what can happen in that dressing room to somebody in his personal life that can affect his performance, or that something happens, or our competitors do something like in the history of this league. You have seen it sometimes, boom, they do that, and then it's a lot of randomness there. So things that we can control, I guarantee we'll do our very best.
And just finally from me, no trophy for you this season, but obviously your rivals managed to do it last night. How much extra pressure does that maybe add on you? And a word on maybe Ange Postecoglou, because you probably know better than us the sort of roller coaster that he's been on this season, and you sort of see him at the end with his family, and I think you have to kind of take your hat off, don't you, to what he's achieved.
Just congratulate them. I think they are champions, and when you get to that, you have to do a lot of things right. I think they're going through a season with, again, a lot of obstacles and difficulties, and they have at the end to manage a beautiful moment. So you have to congratulate. This is a sport, and I'm sure they've done everything in their hands to achieve it, and they are really happy.
The question I have been asked to ask is who's had a better season?
Sorry?
The question I've been asked to ask is who's had a better season? You finished in second.
I don't like to compare with other teams. I need to analyze my team. That's my job.
Okay, thanks. We'll go to Alice from the Premier League.
Thank you. Hi, Mikel. So a trip to Southampton ends your season on Sunday then. Given second place is pretty much confirmed for you, what is the motivation heading into this one?
Sorry, what is there?
What is the motivation heading into this one?
Well, it's motivation because you want to have as many points as possible. You're always here representing this club to win and to play in the manner that we want to do. We still have want to achieve the best defensive record, the Golden Glove, that we're still there to play and finish the season again on a high with a good test, and always respecting the competition.
Sure, you recently said that you're willing to give your life to win silverware here at Arsenal. With that in mind, how do you switch off and let yourself kind of rest and recuperate once the season's over to be able to go again with such intensity next time around?
Well, it's a bit of, I think you need to reset again. I think in order to do that, there are many parts. One of them is that obviously you have to rest. Then you need to be very convinced and aligned of what you want to do to give yourself, again, the best chance to be where we want to be. And then you need to start to feel that, again, that feeling in your tummy that you are willing to come back here on day one, fully motivated, fully enthusiastic to go again with a group of players and a staff that we have.
With that in mind, then, how excited are you already at the prospect of next season?
I am excited, but I think now I need as well to rest a little bit, to calm down, I think to have and to start to make certain decisions in the most efficient way with the right timing as well, to make sure that I can rest, because that's a big part of the rest when you start to see, okay, things are happening and are happening in the right timing, in the right direction.
Absolutely. So looking ahead then, you go into this summer transfer window with a new sporting director in Andrea Berta. How well have you two got to know each other, and how much of an impact do you feel that he can make in what could be a very big summer for the club?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a big contributor. His experience is the fact that he's already won and won in very difficult contexts as well. The way he's built him, I think, is exceptional. So, yeah, I think we have to share all that responsibility. Andrea is going to be a key part driving the idea and the plans that we have to try to execute him, and we are here to support him.
Finally, for me, your last pre-match press conference of the season, if you had to summarise your season in one word, what would that be and why?
When he finishes, and I knew that question was coming, when he finishes, I would do that, and I would use, if I count one, if not, I might use three. Okay? Thank you.
Go to Simon from the Standard.
Mikel, just in the last 24 hours or so, or 40 hours, you've been linked with Real Madrid winger Rodrygo. I'm not asking you to talk about a specific name of him, but what does it say about where this team is at, where the project is at, that you're linked with a player of that calibre?
Well, I wouldn't like to name a player, but obviously we've come. So I think the biggest thing is that, and using the word pride, is that we have brought the club into a position, into a place that next season you have to win a major trophy. That means that everybody believes that we have the level, that we have shown the consistency, and we are an elite team in this country and in Europe. And if you don't do that, then what's going to happen? So for me, that's the biggest statement, that Arsenal is there.
Should you be in the conversation when a player like that is on the market?
I mean, if you want to win major trophies, you have to be the best in the market, no? Because you need the teams that win have the best players, always at this level.
Harry from Southampton.
Mikel, you weren't joking when you said that Kai Havertz had bulked up when he came on the other day. I think you could see clearly that he's
You saw the difference, yeah?
you can see it from the stands. On the centre forward thing, there's been a lot of talk about Arsenal moving potentially for a centre forward in the summer. Does Kai Havertz coming back in such good shape, does that alter your thinking at all going into the summer, or are you very clear on what needs to happen and doesn't need to happen in that position?
Well, what is clear as well with the amount of injuries that we had in the front line, that we need to go threat. We need the firepower out there. Understanding that the context can change tomorrow, and we cannot rely just in the numbers that we had before. And we have to add goal, we have to add creativity, we have to add numbers, and that will be in different positions.
Tom,
Mikel, I was trying to something you talked there with Simon. You talked about the raising of the expectations. You said to me before that success and failure aren't two words that you use in your vocabulary. Do you feel that football has gone into quite a binary way where we look at things as trophy success, a season without trophy failure? Is that a worry?
A worry? Yeah. Well, externally, yes. I mean, you're going to only evaluate that, then use those two words and that's it. But then I think make decisions in base to that. So next season you don't do that, you are out. If you do that, you are here forever. I don't know, what is it? Because last night is a really good example of that. Or the final between Inter and PSG. Because they're going to be judged only if they win it. If not, they're going again like the last 12 years that they have tried it. I have a very different view on that.
How do you cope with that mentally in terms of kind of, and from view as a manager managing players, how they deal with a season where it's not necessarily achieved what you wanted, but you can see the progression that's been made by those.
But where is the joy then? Because then if I have to analyze ourselves, Arsenal Football Club, we have failed the last 20 years in the Premier League, and we have failed in all our history in Champions League. If you take it there, well, who are we then? What is our brand? What is our club? What is that we stand for? What is our value? What is our way of playing? What are the moments that we live together with our people? If we're just going to evaluate that, you have to do a summary. 20 years of that, and a full history of our club of that in Europe. I wouldn't go that way.
Okay, last two in the As Live section. We'll go to Nick Callow on the back there.
Hi, Mikel. Talking about finals and trophies, the Wigan have got final this weekend. Your thoughts on that? Will you be watching?
I will be watching, I will be wishing, and I think everybody is just full on board, just bringing that energy to them. It's going to be an incredible moment for the club, for them, so wish them all the very best, and we will be watching.
Does their success bring energy throughout the club, through to your team as well?
For sure. The women's, what we do in the academy, at any level, anything that is very positive for the football club, we are more than happy to do that.
Phil from PA.
Hi, Mikel. Just going back to Thomas, obviously you said earlier it's been his best season. Just taking everything away, would you like him to stay beyond this season?
Yeah, I said it many times, yeah.
And in terms of numbers, you said you want to add to the squad. Do you have a number in mind as to how many more you need?
Yeah.
Can you say?
No.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you.